Hey, this is Chris Poff with Poff Real Estate, and I wanted to bring you an update on the current situation with the Orlando vacation homes, because a lot of my friends from overseas are calling me, and really just all over Canada, all over the U.S., and they're surfing and they're seeing these prices on the houses, and they've just about been cut in half. I mean, I can buy a vacation home for $75,000 or $150,000. And so I wanted to give you an update on that, because the current situation is a lot different than what you're seeing on the internet. When you're on the ground actually doing it, it's a big difference. So I wanted to bring you up to speed on that. And in order to do that, I'm probably going to have to turn this off and go to my computer. So I'm going to do that, and I'll see you at the computer, and we'll actually look at what's reality versus what the internet's showing you. And people were calling me and saying, "Oh my gosh, I'll be over next week because there's so many good deals." And there's some unbelievable deals, but it's mainly in the hidden Orlando vacation home market. It's not in what you're seeing on the internet, or you're seeing it, but you're probably not looking at that aspect of it. So I want to bring you up to speed and actually just show you how things are working as far as with mortgages, foreclosures, short sales, the whole bit. So I'm going to turn this off, and I'll see you at my computer. Hey, this is Chris Poff, and we're at my desk now and on the computer. And first thing I probably should do is give you a brief history on the holiday home market in Orlando and how it got started and things like that, because many people don't really know what happened. They just kind of know that there are homes available near Disney that people rent out for short term and almost like a hotel motel. So this actually took place when Disney built in the 70s. In the 80s, people started flocking to Disney Orlando and having a great time, and then especially the overseas market, the UK especially, realized, geez, there are cheap homes over here. You can buy a home for $60,000, put a pool on it, put some furniture in it, and rent it out for $500 to $1,000 a week, and rent it for 45 weeks a year. So that's what started happening over the 80s and early 90s. And then in the 90s, and people, it turned into a little cottage industry, and people were making some money at it. They were in positive cash flow. They were buying 2 or 3 or 4 homes and doing it. And then in the 90s, the big real estate companies, a lot of the cowboys from overseas and here got a hold of it and turned it into just a money-making venture where, oh yeah, everybody makes money, and they started doing property shows. And so it turned it into a sort of a mini frenzy. And of course, they were not representing the numbers. Obviously, the more people that bought the homes, the more competition there was. The rents per night started going down. The big tour companies got involved in it, and especially started driving down the weekly or monthly or weekly or daily rents. So by the late 90s, it had turned into more of a mature market, and a lot of competition, and like I say, prices were dropping. But the home prices, the rental prices were dropping, but the home prices were skyrocketing. And especially when we had our boom in 2002, 3, on up to about 2005 or 6, it went crazy. House prices, a home that you could buy for $80,000 in the late 80s or 90s was now $200,000 or $300,000, $400,000. And so the numbers didn't work, and it was tougher and tougher to get rentals. So that was the situation. And then of course, because of our our glorious banking system in Wall Street, they got greedy and started doing some things they shouldn't have done, major things that they knew would have catastrophic consequences. And so we had the market meltdown, the financial world meltdown, due to our U.S. banks and Wall Street and stuff. And to top it off, to add insult to injury, our tax dollars bail them out, and they still refuse to lend. They have brought the economy to a total standstill. And so the current situation in Orlando, especially the holiday home and vacation home market, has been hit very, very hard. You have to search for a private owner selling a home right now, because everybody's sort of given up, and the only thing available are the ones that the banks are foreclosing on, or something new called short sales. And a short sale is basically where the owner still owns the home, but they can't make the payments, or they're ready to walk away from it. Some of them have walked away from it and left it sit for a year and not made payments, and they come back to the bank. The bank hasn't foreclosed yet, because the bank's basically doesn't know what it's doing, and so they go to the bank and say, I still own this home, but I can't make the payments. I've got to sell it. Would you take less than what I owe for it? In other words, if I owe $300,000, would you take $200,000? I think I can sell it at 200,000. And the bank says preliminarily, they give a preliminary, yes, I'll sell it for that. So all these real estate agents have made a business out of doing short sales and then going back to the banks and getting a buyer and then going through this negotiation process of the bank saying, well, I'm not really willing to sell it for 200,000. It's really 250. And then it goes back and forth, and it's insanity. The short sale market, I'm going to tell you that you've got a 1 in 10 to a 1 in 100 chance of getting that home for that price. It's a total, it's like winning lottery. And not that some people don't, I'll show you some homes that have sold, but for the most part, I won't even touch a short sale because the banks are so, you can't even deal with them. And one bank will actually do a short sale once in a while, and many of the banks just literally, they'll allow them to be put up, but they're just testing the market, or they're just milling around trying to figure out what to do with the house, and it's total chaos. So I don't want to be negative, because what this creates is a huge opportunity for you. However, you have to negotiate this landmine over here of short sales and foreclosures and all these things that on the internet look great. You see homes for 150,000 that used to be 300,000. You're like, man, this is a deal. Let's jump on it. Well, it's probably a short sale. So let me just go to my real estate computer, and let's go back to Formosa and look at Formosa. Formosa Gardens is the premier community ever sold in short-term rental land around Disney Orlando, and you've got ranges of about 240,000 up to 1,171,000. So that's a huge range. However, this first one, like I was telling you, I almost guarantee you this is a short sale. Sold as is. This might be a foreclosure. So this is a foreclosure, which again means it's up for 241,000. You don't know what the bank's going to do. The bank may come back and say, "Oh, well, there's liens of 50,000 on that. It's actually 300,000 for you to close this house, for you to actually take ownership of this house, even though we had it up here for 241." There is no telling. Like I say, it's a total crapshoot. Now, is it worth going after? Yeah, if you have plenty of time to come over and plenty of money to spend, but I'm telling you, you aren't going to end up with a deal, because I've got one guy from up north, a friend of mine that isn't listening to me. He's been down for the last 3 years trying to get himself a deal. He's gone after only short sales. He's never gotten one to go through yet. And so now he spent thousands of dollars, going after these great deals when it's all smoke and mirrors. They are not great deals when you spend thousands of bucks going after them and all your time. So I'm going to show you what I call the hidden Orlando vacation home market. And let me just go back to one, and then I'm running out of time on this. I have to keep these videos to 10 minutes for YouTube, so I'm running out of time. But let's look at one that's not a short sale. So the next one is 300,000. That's a short sale, unfurnished. So there you go. You got $40,000 to $50,000 worth of furniture minimum. So let's go back to $399. Here's one, lowest price in Formosa Gardens, $399. And that is not a bank-owned or short sale. So there you go. There's a private owner. This is the hidden market, which used to be the only market for resales, and now it's the hidden market, because you have to really wade through a lot of houses and know somebody that on the ground that knows how to look at these things. This is $399, least expensive home in Formosa Gardens, and it's furnished. It's probably being rented. It's probably being well maintained, so you don't have another $20,000 to $50,000 worth of upkeep and repairs to do on the home. So I'm going to talk more in the next video and show you actually a demonstration of why these short sales are not a deal. But anyway, this is the hidden Orlando holiday home market. See you next video.